Hey everybody, I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA. I own Choice Tax Relief. We help folks who owe the IRS or their state at least $10,000 in back taxes. Um, the debt service industry is rife with bad actors who take advantage of folks at some of their lowest points, and the tax debt relief industry is no different. I made a video on the worst tax relief companies, all of which are now defunct. Link to that video at the top of the screen that just shows you how low people will go to just absolutely rip people off and make a buck. But it doesn't work out for them in the end. It doesn't work out for them in the end. And the marketing. The marketing can be atrocious. It can be invasive. It can just be really bad. And if you found yourself on the other end of an aggressive tax relief company's marketing program like Rod has here, watch out. I mean, they're going to say things that sound great and everything, but it might just be a bunch of malarkey. Let's see what Rod Franklin 9920 is saying here. You'll have to comment on my video, why am I getting tax debt relief calls. Rod is saying, I've been getting numerous calls claiming to be from the Resolution Support Desk to inform me about the penalty abatement program and how I can make payments as low as $150 or $75 per month. They want to make sure I don't miss the current relief cycle. Another call mentioned the Fresh Start program. Another call mentioned the currently non-collectible program. Do these quotes sound similar to the scam calls you're talking about? Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Just a little kind of tip here. Okay, let's take the Resolution Support Desk. Is that a legitimate thing? Google can help us out. Google can actually help us out with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to Google. I'm going to do a site colon search. Okay. Resolution Support Desk. Okay. There is nothing on the IRS website about the Resolution Support Desk. That's an indicator that that is a made up thing to make you think that you're getting call for the actual IRS when you're not. It's just a made up phrase. To inform me about the penalty abatement program. Now it's true, IRS penalties are abatable in some circumstances. Okay. So sometimes there's a mix of kind of truth and fiction, right? And how I can make payments as low as $150 or $75 a month. That's true. There's partial payment installment agreements. Not everyone qualifies for them, but hey, that's possible. It's like one of my sales guys was in the kind of merchant cash advance industry, right? And of course, they're marketing to these cash-strapped business owners, who need like same-day funding to make payroll or something. They said their marketing, and this is either mailers, direct mail, or email blasts or whatever. Rates as low as 3.99%. Oh, wow, 3.99%. Wow, I want that kind of money. So of course they call in, right, and they don't qualify for a 3.99%. Just like, many folks won't qualify for a $150 or $75 a month payment plan. I don't really have a problem with that, right, per se. I mean, because that is a possibility. That's within the realm of possibility. Okay. What really irks me is kind of the semi-pseudo impersonation, the Resolution Support Desk. What also irks me is the next thing here in quotes. They want to make sure I don't miss the current relief cycle. There's no current relief cycle. Okay, or 2025 or whatever the year is, special Fresh Start program. As a matter of fact, I made a couple years ago on Twitter. I I kind of called out this other tax relief company's advertising, right? Because I copied their ad and put this false thing on there. 2020, and this is their ad. Yeah, I'll say their name, Tax Rise, right? 2023 tax forgiveness. The IRS just announced the 2023 Fresh Start program. Okay, I'm comfortable saying the company's name here because this is a flat out falsehood. Okay, all I'm saying here is that this ad is making a false statement. The IRS made no such announcement of a, in particular, 2023 Fresh Start program. That's not a thing. Okay, there is a Fresh Start program, right? It was a series of changes the IRS made to its collections, procedures, and practices, and when a notice of federal taxing was filed, and who can qualify for an offer in compromise. And those changes were put into place well over 10, almost 15 years ago. Okay, it's not like there's this new 2023 Fresh Start program. Okay, and now it's 2025. But this I posted this back in 2023, I think. But anyway, point being, look, there's no current relief cycle or whatever they call it. There's no special Fresh Start program just for this year, and you gotta hurry before all the forgiveness is gone. It doesn't work like that. There isn't. When they're talking about the Fresh Start, this isn't technically what Fresh Start is, but what they want you to think of is the offer and compromise program, right? The program where you can settle, make an agreement with the IRS to settle your tax debt for less than you want. That's what they want you to have in mind when they say Fresh Start. And that is an ongoing program with the IRS. There's no like 2025 offer and compromise program. Oh, you better do it before we accept all the offers. We're going to accept this year. It doesn't work like that. They work year round, right? A lot of them are competent there. I made other videos ranting about that, but the IRS offer and compromise unit works offers year round. It's not some what they're trying to do with this current relief cycle thing is they're trying to give you a sense of urgency, right? You need to act now. Act now. Pick up the phone now, or it's going to run out. It's kind of like when those old, or even today, right? Oh, we only got 30 left. Oh gosh, we just sold 5. We only got 25 left. It's that same gimmick, that same shtick that's been going on forever. That creating that false sense of urgency, right? And then here, okay, another call mentioned the Fresh Start program. I'm not going to go on. If you want to know what the Fresh Start program is, I have a whole video on what the Fresh Start program actually is. Link to that video at the top of the screen. That's all I'm going to say. Another call mentioned the currently non-collectible program. Okay, this is actually a program with the IRS, right? It's a program you can enter into while you're in the program. It's a hardship program. You don't have to make any payments to the IRS. It can be a great resolution option. So yeah, there is some truth to this. If you want to see my whole video about the currently non-collectible program, link at the top of the screen of that video. Okay. Rod Franklin says, do these quotes sound similar to the scam calls you're talking about? Yeah, for sure. I mean, and scam, I don't know the exact company that we're talking about here. I would hesitate to call, a specific competitor a scam. Okay. Might they use very aggressive marketing? Yes. But is it a scam? I mean, a scam is, in my opinion, when someone is charging money for something and they have no intention of fulfilling their obligation for whatever it was they charged the money for, right? A lot of these tax relief companies, even if they have very aggressive marketing and even if they may kind of overpromise over the phone, I shouldn't say all, but many of them do have tax professionals on the back end working these cases, right, who are, trying their best. Okay. The problem is often just with the sales, right, and the marketing. And, I think a lot of those phrases used in this whatever marketing campaign that Rod was on the receiving end of they're pretty aggressive and definitely not something I'm comfortable with, using those kind of phrases at Choice Tax Relief. So yes, Rod, those are, when I made that video, why am I getting tax relief debt calls? It sounds like what you're describing is in the category of the kind of calls that I was describing in that video. Link to that video at the top of the screen, by the way. But, I before I call something an outright scam, I kind of, I'll walk right up to that line of calling something a scam, and then I'll take like a couple steps back, right? Because that's a heavy accusation, right? It's a heavy accusation. It is definitely aggressive marketing. I would definitely be very wary of who you're talking to on the phone if you do choose to get suckered in by those calls, right? It's often, how it often works is that, you get these voicemails and then you call the number back or something. And it's not an advertisement that came by, even by a specific tax relief company. It might just be kind of a lead generation company. And then you're kind of matched with, one of 10 tax relief companies that are kind of bidding on the leads. It can get complicated. But at the end of the day, make sure you understand what is the actual company that you're paying money to. I would recommend that if you don't use Choice Tax Relief, you work with a company or a firm that is owned by a Circular 230 tax professional, a CPA, an IRS enrolled agent, or an attorney. Okay? It's not owned by one of those three types of people or people with those designations / certifications / licenses. They are not held to the same ethical standards that a state bar has for an attorney, the state board of accountancy has it for a CPA, and the Department of the Treasury has for enrolled agents. Okay, just my opinion on that, right? Just my opinion. Anyway, folks, I've kind of ranted a little longer than I probably should have here, but Rod, to answer your question, yeah, that sounds like I wouldn't pick up the phone. Let's just say that much. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching this video. If you owe the IRS or your state at least $10,000 in back taxes, or you have multiple years of unfiled tax returns, congratulations. You qualify for a free consultation with us here at Choice Tax Relief. To schedule that free consultation, you can give us a call at 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can go to choicetaxrelief.com, fill out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you. I have some other videos here on the left-hand side of the screen about questionable tax relief marketing tactics. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.